ಮಾಡೋದು ಜೋಕ್ ಏನಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದಿರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, okay. Good afternoon, everyone. In the previous class, we completed, I think, aggregates. Correct? Aggregates we have completed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good, very good. So in this class, we start with admixtures. Okay, in this we start with admixture. So generally, admixture, we have two categories. Okay, now we will discuss in detail only chemical, mineral, chemical and mineral. Okay, now basic difference is chemical admixtures are manufactured using chemical formula, and mineral admixtures are naturally obtained, or it is a byproduct of some industry. That's all. Byproduct of some industry or naturally occurring, whereas chemical admixtures are chemically prepared in a laboratory to have a to act as an admixture. Now, what is admixture? Now that you should understand. Now suppose there is a concrete. Suppose there is a place and you want to do some concreting works. You want to do some concreting works. You have a normal produced concrete. You have a normal produced concrete, but it is a very hot area. But it is a very hot area, as well as it is very, very far away from the mixing plant. It is very, very far away from the mixing plant. Generally, your initial setting time is 30 minutes. Means what? After 30 minutes, concrete will start setting. That is the problem. Now, so in this case, it is very, very hot area. It is very, very far away from places. So how to control the property of concrete? What will happen if you take normal concrete during transportation? It may set, so concrete is wasted. Or else if you take to this place somehow in the 30 minutes only, due to hot condition, water will suddenly evaporate and concrete is not of good quality. Okay. In another case, suppose this place is very, very cold, like Jammu Kashmir, like Piranwadi, like Tipu Sultan Nagar, like Jain College of Engineering. Okay, na? Suppose it is a very, very cold place, cool place, and your concrete is a normal concrete. Now, to make concrete strong, the temperature should be a normal temperature. Okay, na? In cold places, concrete is going to set very slowly. Concrete is going to set very slowly. So after pouring, or even after 24 hours or 2 days, concrete is still in fresh state. Concrete is still in fresh state. So what is the use of doing that one? So only one day concreting you are doing, next day you cannot do. So it will be very, very big problem. No. So you want to make concrete to set faster. In this case, in the second case, in this case, you want to make concrete to set very slow, very slow. Okay, na? So that time also you want to change the property. Here also you want to change the property. So naturally you are not able to do that one by natural contents, ingredients, that is the cement, aggregate, water. So you cannot change much of the property. So some chemicals or some another material, which we call it as admixtures, we are adding them to change the property of concrete, to change the property of concrete in fresh state as well as in hardened state. To change the property in fresh as well as hardened state, the additional material, we call them as admixture. We call them as admixture. Is this point clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Only two persons.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ಯಾಕೋ ಮಂಜು, ಕೆಂಪಣ್ಣ,
Yes, sir.
ಕಾಜಲ್, ಯಾಕೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕುಂತ ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ? ಓಕೆನಾ? ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. You have to reply. ಓಕೆನಾ? So you want to, whenever you want to change the property of concrete in fresh as well as hardened state, we can add some material. Those materials are called as admixture. Those materials are called admixture. Nowadays, in almost all concrete, 70 to 80% of the norm concreting works nowadays, somehow we are adding one admixture or two admixture. Somehow you want to change the property. So that is why admixtures are very, very important. What are admixtures? How they look? They are generally a salt type of things or polymers. They are some salt type of things or polymers. They are added during the mixing or before the mixing itself. During the mixing or before the mixing, we are generally adding. Okay, na? What property you want to change? The properties such as workability, acceleration of setting time, retardation of setting time. What example we just gave? No, that is the example. You want to change the workability, you want to change the setting time, you want to change the strength development, you want to make the concrete resistance to frost action, means cold burf conditions. Okay, you want to control thermal caking, you want to control alkali aggregate reaction. In yesterday class we have seen, you want to have some acidic and sulfate resisting property. So in almost all these cases, you want to have better property, you want to alter the property. That's why we are adding the admixture. That's why we are adding the admixture. Now, what is the admixture? Standard definition, just now we have seen. It is other than water, aggregate, cement, and steel. It is not this. It is leaving this one, that fifth ingredient. It is called as fifth material, which we will change before mixing or during mixing. Before mixing or during mixing. Okay, now how the admixtures should be. Suppose from market you go to RPD Cross or you go to some bazaar. Okay, there you get one admixture bottle. Suddenly you cannot bring that one and put it in your house concreting. Why? You need to test that one first. What are the things it is containing, whether that will combine with your cement and will give good property changes, whether it is not combining with your cement. Okay, whether your anticipated or desirable characteristics will be achieved or not. So all those things you have to consider first. So for that you need to do some laboratory test. So those are called as the compatibility test. What test they are called as? What is the name of the test?
Compatibility.
कंपैटिबिलिटी. कंपैटिबिलिटी का मतलब है वेदर वो एडमिक्सचर आपके सीमेंट, आपके एग्रीगेट साथ अच्छा सा मिक्स होता है, अच्छा सा रिजल्ट्स देता है या नहीं. थोड़ा थोड़ा टेस्ट करना है लेबोरेटरी में, उसके बाद उसको फील्ड में इंप्लाई करना है. सो पहले जो लैब में करते हैं ना, उसको ಕಂಪ್ಯಾಟಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ बोलते हैं. ಮೊದಲು ಏನು ನೀವು ಲ್ಯಾಬೊರೇಟರಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನ ತಂದು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ಲಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿಮೆಂಟಿಗೆ, ನಿಮ್ದು ಅಗ್ರಿಗೇಟಿಗೆ ಇದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸೂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಆ ಮಾಡೋ ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾಟಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಒನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾಟಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರಿ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್, ದೆನ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಇಟ್. So what type of property, so what type of test, what type of results you are going to see? Whatever admixture you are getting, no, it should not harm the concrete. It should not harm the concrete. It should not corrode. It should not corrode the steel. All these tests should be considered. It okay na? Before admixture adding, after admixture adding. What is the workability? What was the strength? What was the slump loss? So all these things have to be considered before the admixture, after the admixture, so that you will get what? Result of admixture. Okay, before adding the admixture, without adding the admixture, my workability or my slump was 50 mm. After adding the admixture, I get 75 mm slump. So that means my admixture is giving extra 25 mm slump for this water cement ratio. Like this you need to understand. Is that point clear for everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good, very
Yes,
good.
sir.
Okay, those two things are very important in the part of specification. Apart from that, density of that liquid. See, admixture may be in powder form or in solution form. Both are possible. Okay, na? So admixtures in powder form can be added to the cement in a dry mix and of continuously mixed in water later, or else for the fresh concrete during mixing in batching plant, that time this solution is added. ओके मुझे बताओ कितने लोगों ने अपने घर के और आजू बाजू घर में कंक्रीट करने के टाइम एक बैरल में पानी में थोड़ा एक एक बॉटल कभी कभी डालते हुए देखा है? ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ನೋಡಿದಿರಾ? ಸಣ್ಣ ಬಾಟಲ್ದೊಳಗೆ ಒಂದು ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಆ ಡ್ರಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ನೀರೊಳಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತಿರ್ತಾರ, ಅದ ನೀರು ಮಿಕ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಮುಂದೆ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ, ನೋಡಿರಿ ಯಾರಾರ?
Yes,
ಹೌ
sir.
ಮೆನಿ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಸೀನ್?
Yes, sir.
ನೋಡಿರಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು?
Yes, sir.
3 ಜನ ನೋಡಿರಿ, ಉಳ್ಕಿದವ್ರಿಗೆ ನೋಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಂಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲನಪ್ಪ ಯಾರಿಗಾರದು?
ನೋಡಿವ್ರಿ.
हाँ, अदू वन टाइप एडमिक्सचर, वो भी एक तरफ का एडमिक्सचर है। उसको कौन सा प्रॉपर्टी देगा? मे बी impermeability, मे बी गुड बॉन्डिंग, मे बी रिड्यूसिंग वाटर सीमेंट रेशियो. So all those things can be understood. Your admixtures should not contain any chloride or very very less chloride. What is the problem if it contains chlorine or chloride content? Can anyone tell me? Chloride, if it present, then it will give corrosion. It will give corrosion. That is the problem with the chlorination. That is the problem with the chlorination. Okay ना? अगर तुम लोग एक ही एडमिक्सचर नहीं, 2 एडमिक्सचर, 3 एडमिक्सचर वो बॉटल मिक्स करके आप कंक्रीट में मिक्स कर रहे हैं, तो you have to test their compatibility first, whether this one when they mix together, whether they are giving good result, whether they are combining in proper condition or not at all combining. So those things also should be tested. Those things should be tested. Okay na? So now chemical admixture, mineral admixture. In the beginning only I have told they are special chemical action made in chemical laboratory. Made in chemical laboratory, they have special chemical composition. Mineral admixture, they are generally naturally obtained or byproduct of some industry such as coke, thermal power plant. Okay, like that there are some industry, there's waste product or byproduct you are getting and you are using it as a supplementary materials. What do you mean by supplementary? If 100 grams of cement is there, you want to do the concreting, you add 80 grams of cement plus 20 grams of this mineral admixture. Are you understanding? You are adding 80 grams of cement and 20 grams of this mineral admixture. So you are supplementing the cement with mineral admixture. You are supplementing the cement with what? Mineral admixture. That is called as supplementary cementing materials. Means what? Some quantity of cement is removed. Instead of that, you are adding mineral admixture. Why? When it combines with water, it also forms the gel. It also forms the strong property. Okay, na? Everyone, is that point clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Now, very good. My voice is clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And on the screen,
Yes, sir.
Screen is
Yes,
also
sir.
visible.
Yes,
Screen
sir.
is also
Yes,
visible.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good, very good,
Yes,
very
sir.
good. हाँ, ये आप लोग बहुत अच्छा है, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬಹಳ ಚಲೋ ಇದಿರಪ್ಪ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಜಲ್ದಿ ರಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ನೋಡ, ನಂಗೂ ಬಹಳ ಚಲೋ ಅನಿಸ್ತೈತಿ, ನಂಗೂ ಬಹಳ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ದೆ ನಾನು. ಓಕೆ, ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಚಲೋ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಚಾಕ್ಲೇಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ಸೋಣಂತ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಚಹಾ ಕೊಡ್ಸೋಣಂತ.
ಸರ್ ಯಾವ ಚಾಕ್ಲೇಟ್ ರೀ?
ಏನತ್ತ?
ಯಾವ ಚಾಕ್ಲೇಟ್ ರೀ?
ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಕು ಹೇಳಪ್ಪ, ಅದನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ಸೋಣಂತ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕರಿಯಾಗ ರಮೇಶ್ ನನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಂಟೀನ್ದಾಗ ಏನೇನ್ ಅದಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡ್ಸೋಣಂತ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ. ಓಕೆ,
ಪಾರ್ಲೆ.
ಓಕೆ, ಹಾ ಅದನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ಸೋಣ, ನಿನ್ಗೆ ಅದ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದ ಕೊಡ್ಸೋಣ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ. ಹಾ, ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ admixture in the first okay, chemical admixtures are classified into this. Okay na? Plasticizer, super plasticizer, retarder or retarding plasticizer, sorry, retarder and retarding plasticizer, accelerator and accelerating plasticizer, air and training, new generation. ಈಗ अभी मैं पहले थोड़ा सा हिंट देता हूं, एक्चुअली ये क्या करता है. ओके, एक्चुअली ये क्या करता है, पहले इस कंडीशन को समझो. रिडक्शन इन वाटर कंटेंट, रिडक्शन इन वाटर कंटेंट, इसका मतलब क्या है? रिडक्शन इन वाटर कंटेंट का मतलब क्या है? अगर ये एक कंक्रीट है, इसको तुम 100 ml पानी, 400 ग्राम्स ऑफ सीमेंट एंड नॉर्मल एग्रीगेट सब डाल के मिक्स कर दिया, तो तुम्हारा वाटर कंटेंट कितना हो गया? 100 ml. तो मिक्स करने के बाद 400 ग्राम्स ऑफ सीमेंट, 800 ग्राम्स ऑफ एग्रीगेट, 100 ml ऑफ वाटर, तीनों मिक्स होके तुम्हारा फ्रेश कंक्रीट बनता है. डू यू एग्री विद दिस पॉइंट?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, रिडक्शन इन वाटर कंटेंट का मतलब है ये अंदर से 100 ml पानी को निकालता नहीं है. एडमिक्सचर अगर आप ऐड किया तो एडमिक्सचर का फंक्शन क्या है? व्हाट इज द फंक्शन? रिडक्शन इन वाटर कंटेंट. Don't think that it is reducing the water from cement and this mixture. That is not reduction in water content. How you should understand? See here, 100 ml water, 400 grams of cement, 800 grams. Okay, it will give one type of concrete. It will give one type of concrete. Let us say M20 concrete with 75 slump. So slump we all discuss in the second module. That is not a big issue. For the time being, you understand it is a workability parameter. It is a workability parameter. Suppose it is a 75 slump it is giving, and strength it is giving M20, and water cement ratio is how much for this one? Water cement ratio 100 divided by 400. 100 divided by 400 how much? 1 divided by 0.4. Okay, 1 divided by 0.4 how much? Let us say, suppose okay, don't think it is a 200. Suppose it is a 200. Okay, na 200 ml. So your water cement ratio will become how much? Can anyone tell me? Water to cement ratio. Water to cement ratio. 200 by 400. How much?
0.5.
0.5.
Very good, very good, very good. Try to understand that this concept is very, very important, which is there for all full semester. This concept, if you understand properly, it will be easy for next 3 modules. Okay ना? Normal फर्स्ट मतलब मैं क्या बोल रहा था, 100 ml नहीं लेना है, 200 लेना है, तो कैलकुलेशन के लिए आसानी होगा, कैलकुलेशन ಗೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸಪೋಸ್ without admixture, no admixture, you are using 200 ml, 400 cement, 800 aggregate, so that it is giving 75 mm slump and M20 grade of concrete. So water cement ratio is 0.5. You want to control the water. Why you want to control the water? First understand, if your concrete consists more water, the later it may give problem such as segregation, such as corrosion, such as capillary, such as bleeding. So many problems will come if you add more water, if it is containing more water than it is required. Okay na? Now by adding suitable admixture, you will get same slump, you will get same grade of concrete, aggregate will be same, cement will be same, but you can reduce the water by using 100 ml only. By using 100 ml only, you are going to get same workability of 75 mm slump, same grade of strength of M20 grade, cement same, this one same, reduction in water required. That meaning is called as reduction in water content. That is called as reduction in water content. Is that clear, this point? That is the meaning of reduction in water content. Okay ना? Means वो सीमेंट से पानी को नहीं ले रहा है, वो मतलब नहीं है. उसका मतलब ये है, it is consuming less water to produce the same property of concrete. That is what reduction in water content. One thing. Is this point clear? Is this point clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, it also increase the workability, or it also increase the slump. Okay, how? You are not reducing the water, you are adding 200 ml only, admixture you are adding, cement you are adding, aggregates you are adding, but your slump is not 75, your slump may be 125. What is meant by that one? Workability is increased, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If you are not changing the water content, By adding the admixture, the original 75 mm slump is increased to 125 mm. That is also one good property, no? By increasing the workability, the concrete can be placed, compacted, transported easily. Workability is nothing but easiness, no? Easiness of doing concreting, no? So in that way, admixture can reduce the water content in first case, or by keeping the water content same, increases the workability or slump, increases the workability or slump. Do you agree with this point?
Yes, sir.
In some other things you can tell, reduce the slump loss, reduce the slump loss. What do you mean by that one? What do you mean by that one? Originally 200 ml water you have added 400 cement. Normally if it is a 75 mm, normally it is a 75 mm. Without adding admixture, just fresh concrete will give 75 mm. But half an hour after the 20 minutes, slump value is going to be the same, or it is going to decrease, or it is going to increase? Can anyone tell me? Just normal.
Decrease.
It will decrease. That means 75 mm slump, after half an hour, if you check the concrete, the slump value may become 50. May become 50. Okay, na? Okay, this is about normal without any admixture. Now, if you add admixture, to the same thing, and if you test after 1 hour or half an hour, slump value may remain same or may just become a little less. That means the loss in slump is reduced. The loss in slump is reduced. Original loss without admixture, it was 25 mm. But now after adding admixture, slump loss may be 0 mm or 5 mm. 0 mm or 5 mm. So all these things are there. Okay, now all these things are there. So plasticizer, what it is doing? It is holding the water particle inside only. Holding the water particle inside only. Okay, now we'll just see one or thing. We'll go one by one. Functions we will see. Functions we will see. See, depending upon the condition, you want to increase the setting time, you want to decrease the setting time. Both way it is possible. So that is why it is written to accelerate the initial set, to retard the initial set, to increase the workability, to improve the flowability, pumpability, to reduce the segregation, to increase the strength, to increase the durability. So many functions are there for using admixture. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Others, what happened? ಯಾಕೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ
Yes, sir.
ಕೂತಿರ್ತೀರಿ? ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಂದಿ ಇದೀರಪ್ಪ? ನಂದಿತಾ, ನೇಹಲ್, ಸಾಹಿಲ್, ಶ್ರುತಿ, ಸೋನಲಿ,
Yes, sir.
ನಕ್ಷತ್ರ, ಮುರುಗೇಶ್. ಮಾತಾಡ್ರಿ, ಹಂಗ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ಮೇನ್ ಮನ್ಯಾಗ ಹೇಳ್ಯಾರ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. घर में बोले क्या बात करने का नहीं करके? ऐसा कुछ है क्या घर में? देखो फिर से चुप बैठ गए सब लोग. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸಲ ರೈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ರಪ್ಪ. ರೈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ, ನೋಡೋಣ ಅಲರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ.
Yes, sir.
ಐತಿಲ್ಲ ರೇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್?
ಐತೆ ಸರ್.
ಐತೆ?
ಐತೆ ಸರ್.
Okay. Abubakar Siddiqui, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Abubakar, अटेंडेंस ना लास्टिक तोलतेनप्पा, ನೀ स्टार्टिंग ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲ. मैं तो अटेंडेंस लास्ट में पूछता हूँ, तुम अभी क्यों दे दिया?
सर तुम ऑडियो रिकॉर्ड करे बोल के.
हाँ, ओके ओके ओके,
रिकॉर्डिंग स्टार्ट किया बोल के.
हाँ हाँ, ओके 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 ओके. Okay. Okay. So other than this, you have so many important functions. Screen, on the screen you are visible. This is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
Some other functions control the alkali aggregate reaction. Alkali aggregate reaction was discussed yesterday, correct? alkalis present in cement, reactive aggregate will form one expansive gel, which is bad for concrete. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ah.
Yes, sir.
It is also
Yes, sir.
reduce the corrosion. It will increase the resistance to chemical attack. Heat of hydration is controlled. Good bond between concrete and
Yes,
other
sir.
concrete. Skid resistance is controlled. Cellular concrete can be produced. Colored concrete. So many helpful. Whether without admixture, all these are possible to full extent. Can anyone tell me? Without the admixture, all these properties can be changed.
No.
It is not at all possible. It is not at all possible. Okay. Only small changes can be made, but admixtures are 100% required. First type of plasticizer. We also call it as water reducers. So first case we are discussing chemical admixture. In the chemical admixture, first is plasticizer. Okay, na? So what is the function of plasticizer? It will reduce the water content. Correct, na? It will increase the workability. What we have just before discussed. That is the advantage of this one. So plasticizer or water reducer will reduce the water content or increase the workability. Where you require, suppose there is a beam which is very, very deep. You want your concrete slump to be higher or smaller? Can anyone tell me? Slump value should be high or should be low for this deep beams, thin walls, or some high percentage of steel is there, heavy steel is there, heavy steel. You want your slump to be high or slow?
High workability for high percent.
Very
High,
good.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, correct. High workability means this type of structures, deep beams, thin walls. Okay, all these things will require high slump. Why? More flowability is achieved for high workability. More flowability means what? All the concrete will go deep. It will go to the all parts of the concrete, all parts of the structure. So that is why you want to have high workability. To achieve that one, you are adding plasticizer. Now, what is plasticizer? It is an organic substance or organic plus inorganic, which will allow reduction in water content. For same workability or increase the workability for the same water content. So this is called as admixture or plasticizer. It is called as plasticizer. So what are the basic components? Not necessary, just for reference. Lignosulfonates, polyglycerol esters. These are the two chemicals which are used as plasticizer. What are those? Lignosulfonates, polyglycerol esters. Okay, polyglycerol esters. Generally, what is the dosage? 0.1% to 0.4% of cement. 0.1 to 0.4% of cement. If you add that much of admixture, you can reduce water content to 15%. That is the advantage. You can reduce the water percent to 15%. Or you can increase the slump to 30 to 150 mm. How it is done? Action of superplasticizer, how generally it is done? The effect is called as dispersion effect. Now, can you see this example? Can you see this diagram? See here. This is the cement particles and water which do not have admixture. In this case, this is cement, this is water with admixture. Can you notice the change here? Here cement particles and water are densely packed with one another so that a flock is formed. It is called as a flocculated concrete where no admixture is present. Okay, na? In admixture mixed concrete, it is called as a dispersed type of concrete where cement particles and water molecules are dispersed. Now, can you see here? These are the cement. These are the cement particles. These are the cement particle. When there is no admixture, so cement particles have a tendency to combine with one another so that they form one flock. They form one small bundle, which we call it as a flock. So what is happening in the flock? Water is entrapped. What is happening here? Without admixture, cement particles have a tendency to attract each other, and water is entrapped, which is not used for workability and which is not used for hydration. Simply water is entrapped here. Simply water is entrapped. Now, when you add admixture, what is happening? When you add admixture, the admixture ions are there, no? Sulfur, ligno, aluminates, whatever. Those things are generally chain polymers. They are called as polymers or chain polymers. How they will stick on the surface? Like this. Can you see? A small comma. Can you see, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
These things will cover the surface of cement particle so that repulsive forces will generate. Repulsive means what? They are not coming together, they are pushing one away other. They are pushing away from each other. So this potential is called as zeta potential. The potential of repulsive forces is called as zeta potential. So that repulsive action is acted, so that when this cement molecules move away, so what was entrapped here? Water. So water will be released freely. So that water is released freely. So this type of action is called as a dispersed action. So once water which is not used freely, so that is released, so that water will give what? That water will give increase in slump, or you can reduce the water content. Do you agree? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is what we are explaining. Plasticizer, if you are not adding, they form flocculation, they form bundles. With plasticizer, the water is released from inside, and there is no interparticle friction. There is no interparticle friction or attractive force between the cement particles. So this is called as retarding effect. This is called as retarding effect. What is that retarding effect? Once these ions of polymers of admixtures, once they adhere to the cement molecule surface, the water is not coming in contact. So no water is coming in contact with cement. That means hydration is not going to take place for some time. So that is what retarding. Retarding means what? You are slowing down the rate of hydration. No, you are slowing the rate of hydration. So apart from releasing the water, admixtures also performs the function of retarding the hydration. Also performs the functions of retarding the hydration. Some chemicals or some commercially available plasticizers, BV, Conplast, Plastimint, Rofplast. These are just chemicals given. Okay. Can you see here? If you add plasticizer, this type of concrete you are getting, which is very, very flowable. Now next is super plasticizer, which is more effective than normal plasticizer. So more flowability is achieved. So this is new generation, means what? Which is much more advanced than these two, which is giving more and more workability, or more and more water requirement is reduced. More and more water content is reduced. Whether that point is clear? Plasticizer?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. ಹಾ, ಉಳುಕಿದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದಪ್ಪ? ಪ್ರತಿ ಸಲನು ಹೇಳ ದಾನೇಶ್, ಬಸವರಾಜ್, ಭಾರತ, ಚಂದ್ರಶೇಖರ್, ಯಾಕೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕುಂದಿರ್ತೀರಿ? ವೈ ಯು ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ಬಿ ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್? ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್.
ಸರ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ರಿ.
ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ, ಇದೊಂದು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡುದು ನೋಡಿ. ಹೌದಾ, ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಖರೆಗೂ? ನೋಡು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹರ್ಷಿತಾ, welcome to the class.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Hello, Harshita madam. Harshita madam, ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
Yes, sir.
Whether you are following the class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾರಿದಾರಪ್ಪ? ಲೋಕೇಶ್ ಮಿಜ್ಜಿ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಬಹಳ ದಿನ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದಿರಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ.
ಆರಾಮ್ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ರಿ.
ಈಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿದಿಲ್ಪ?
ಹಾ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿದ್ರಿ.
ಗುಳಿಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಔಷಧ ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ, ದವಾಖಾನಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲ?
ಹಾ ದವಾಖಾನಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಬಂದಿನ್ರಿ.
ಊಟ ಗಿಟ ಬರೋಬ್ಬರಿ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ, ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ತುಂಬ ಊಟ ಮಾಡ, ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ. ಓಕೆ, ಬಿಸಿನೀರದು ಕುಡಿ.
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ Sonalik Patil, are you following the class?
Yes, sir.
So try to give response whenever I ask, okay na? So others, give one thumbs up,
Okay, sir.
raise the hand, whether you are following or not. All persons, thumbs up. Okay. Okay. Good, very good. Only few people are raised a hand. What happened to others? Gangadhar Nanoji, where are you? Gangadhar is not there. See?
Yes, sir, I am there.
Then why you are not replying?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sorry, sir.
Okay. Shall we continue? Yes, we will start with this one. Super plasticizer. This is an advanced. Okay. The function is same only. How it is taking the action. That is same only. Okay, no problem. But it has contained more effect. Suppose normal plasticizer will reduce up to 15%, and how much will be super plasticizer is going to give the effect? Can anyone tell me? Kajal Pawar? Manjunath?
Yes, sir.
How much effect can be seen for super plasticizer? If normal plasticizer is 15%, normal plasticizer's effect is 15% in reduction the water requirement. In the same concrete, if you add super plasticizer, what is the effect? You can see how much percentage can be reduced?
30%.
Up to 30%. Can you understand this point? So super plasticizer have
Yes.
very high effect in reducing the water content as well as increase in the slump value. The function is same only. The super plasticizer's function is same only, no change. But chemical composition is changed. These are called as powerful dispersing agent. Okay, now these are also called as high range water reducers. So here you can reduce water cement ratio up to 0.5. In our example, what we have taken, the water cement ratio was 0.5. With adding admixtures, water cement ratio we can reduce to 0.4. But with adding super plasticizer, water cement ratio can be reduced to 0.25. So that means in that example, our water content was 200 ml. No, our water content was 2 ml. By adding admixture, you can reduce up to 160. But by adding super plasticizer, only 100 ml can be added. Okay, na? So like that you can understand. So in Japan and in modern countries, always they use a super plasticizer, okay, as a fifth one. Generally, it is used in long or high-rise buildings, long span bridges, which is very popular nowadays. Okay, na? Government is also encouraging to use super plasticizers. So what are the general uses? You can list one by one. So it will reduce the water cement ratio. It will increase the workability. It will increase the strength by reducing the water cement, and it is also giving a very homogeneous cohesive concrete. It is also giving homogeneous concrete. Okay, na? So normal super plasticizers, common name SMF, SNF, MLS. No need to remember. Okay, try to understand the function and action of these chemical admixtures. If you remember the names, well and good. Okay, now SMF means sulfonated melamine formaldehyde condensates. It's very difficult to remember. At least you can remember SMF, SNF. Okay, now like that. Now, effect of superplasticizer. Now, if you take an example like this, I will just give. Okay, now how superplasticizer, how plasticizers should be added. What our example? 200 ml was the water. Normal cement 400, 800 aggregate, it was there. But what is that? What I was telling? They generally, what function they are going to do? Admixtures or super plasticizers, they reduce the water content. They reduce the water content. With 100 ml also you can do. With 75 ml of water also they can do. But super plasticizer, to have their effect, they should contain minimum water content. If water is not at all there, or if water is very less, such as 40 ml or 50 ml, then admixtures cannot perform their function. That is what we call it as very stiff concrete or zero slump concrete, have no have no effect for the admixtures or plasticizers or super plasticizers. To have effect of super plasticizers, at least some minimum water content should be there. At least some fluid should be there, so that this super plasticizer has the effect. Are you understood this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Apart from that, continuously increasing the dosage means what? How much super plasticizer you are adding. By continuously increasing, the slump will get increased. Can you see here? For 0-degree super plasticizer or 0%, if no super plasticizer is added, your slump is 70 centimeter, sorry, 70 mm, because it is given in centimeter. So I'm directly writing 7 centimeter to 70 mm. By adding a 0.2 percentage of super plasticizer, slump will increase to 130. By adding much of the super plasticizer, suddenly slump value will increase to 170. But if you continuously increase, the slump is not going to change, because after attaining this value, there is no further increasing slump increase. There is no further increase in the slump gain, but you cannot increase the plasticizer continuously. There is some dosage which is called as optimum dosage. This area, this optimum dosage, you have optimum dosage where slump gain is maximum. Okay, na? Whether that point is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Compatibility.
Yes, sir.
Can any one student tell me? I will ask. Who? Nehal sir. Compatibility, the meaning ಏನಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? Compatibility ಏನದು meaning?
Sir, compatibility ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ sir.
ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ओके कंपैटिबिलिटी ಅಂದ್ರೆ आप एक मार्केट से एक सुपर प्लास्टिसाइजर लेके आया और आपके घर के कंक्रीट को टेस्ट कर रहे हैं. आपके घर के कंक्रीट को पूरा साइट में डालने से पहले उसको पहले लैब में टेस्ट करते हैं, वेदर इट इज गिविंग गुड रिजल्ट और वेदर इट इज गिविंग अ बैड रिजल्ट. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಕಂಪ್ಯಾಟಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. Whether this admixture is performing good with this cement, then it is called as compatible superplasticizer. If it is not giving good results, then we can tell it as non-compatible. Whether you have understood this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Comparing the
Compare.
successor.
You need to check whether it is adjusted with or not. Okay, ಈಗ ಹೆಂಗಂದ್ರೆ
Yes, sir.
ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಒಳಗ ಹೆಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ ಈ ಏನಂತಾರ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟಿಗೆ ಸರ್ ಬೈದ್ರೆ ಚಲೋನು ಹೊಡೆದ್ರೆ ಚಲೋನು ಅಥವಾ ನಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಚಲೋನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾಟಿಬಲ್ ಅದಾರೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕ ಫಸ್ಟ್, ಹೌದಿಲ್ಲ?
ಹೊಂದಾಣಿಕೆ ಸರ್.
हाँ, ಹೊಂದಾಣಿಕೆ. उसको क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी में? एडजस्टमेंट. हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं?
संभालन.
हाँ, correct. Okay, so whatever material you are taking, using it as a super plasticizer, those things should be tested for compatibility, whether it is fixing with that cement or that super plasticizer. If you are using with another super plasticizer or with another plasticizer, all the three things should be checked for each other's compatibility. दोनों एक दूसरे से जमता है क्या नहीं जमता है, अगर जमता है तो कितना अच्छा जमता है, नहीं जमता है तो क्या ढम उड़ेगा, ऐसे तुम लोग पहले चेक करना है. That is what we call it as compatibility. How that compatibility is tested? That is Marsh cone mini slump flow table test. See here, in Marsh cone, like this it is a cone, like this it is a cone. You tell me there is small closing lid, मतलब नीचे एक ढक्कन जैसा है, उसको ओपन भी कर सकते हैं, क्लोज भी कर सकते हैं. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತೆಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಮುಚ್ಚಳ ಐತಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳಗಿದ್ದ ಸ್ಲರಿ ಬಿದ್ದು ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ, ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳಗಿದ್ದ ಸ್ಲರಿ ಬೀಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆನಾ? If your concrete or if your cement slurry, if it is more solid, then time taken to khali, time taken to empty this when you open is more, or when it is more liquid, time taken to empty this when you open this one is more. In which case time taken is more. ನಾ ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಾಗ. ಇದಕ್ಕ ಮಾರ್ಷ್ ಕೋನ್ ಅಂತಾರ, ತೆಳಗ ಒಂದ ಮುಚ್ಚಳ ಐತಿ. Okay, this is called as marsh cone. In this bottom you have a one lid. Now if solid type of cement slurry is there, then time taken to empty this one will be some seconds. Okay na? If you put more liquid type of a cement slurry, then time taken will be some seconds to empty this one. In which case solid time taken is more or liquid time taken is more to empty that one?
Solid type.
Solid type.
Solid, sir.
Solid. If you add more and more water, the slurry will become more fluid, so that time taken to empty the cone will become less. So this principle is used in Marsh cone. What they are doing, they are taking 100 grams of cement plus some sand or whatever. So you are adding water, how much? 40 ml of water. Suppose you are adding 40 ml of water. First, no admixture. Third column is no admixture. You are mixing, you are closing the lid and you are filling this one. And after settling, means 1 minute, you are removing this one. Continuously it will flow. And you will note down the time for this case. Let us say it is 10 seconds. Now you are putting plasticizer, super plasticizer or plasticizer. So 40 ml water, you take it as it is. 100 ml cement, you take it as is. You add 0.2% of admixture. So what shall be the time taken to empty the Marsh cone when you add super plasticizer? 10, less than 10, more than 10?
Less than 10.
Very good. It will take definitely less than 10. Less than 10, maybe 8 seconds, maybe 6 seconds. Okay, na? So increase the percentage, you note down the time taken. So continuously you test at what time, at what percentage, or at what optimum dosage, which is giving less time to empty, So those seconds are called as Marsh cone seconds or Marsh cone time. So this is the Marshcone test, which is the Marshcone test. This you can read it by yourself. How much water, how much plasticizer, how the slurry is prepared using C. Okay, all those things, it is okay. Okay, so what I have telling, it is called as Marshcone. It's called as Marshcone. So can you see the graph here? This is a super plasticizer dosage increasing in the right side direction. This is Marshcone seconds. So as the percentage of super plasticizer added is increasing, what is happening to the Marshcone seconds? Kajal Pawar, Marshcone seconds ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? ವಾಟರ್ ಇದು ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಸೈಸರ್ ಡೋಸೇಜ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ದಂಗ
So increase.
Marshcone second increase ಆಗತ್ತೈತೋ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೈತೋ ಸೂಪರ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಸೈಸರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹಾಕದಂಗ
Increase ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ.
ನೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡ, ಇಲ್ಲೇ 100 ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಐತಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಸೈಸರ್ಗೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೇ 50 ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಐತಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಸೈಸರ್ಗೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಮೀನ್ ಬೈ ದಟ್ ಒನ್? ವೆದರ್ Marshcone second is decreasing or increasing when you add more plasticizer?
Decreasing, sir. Decreasing.
It is going to decrease. So this point where no further decrease in time, this dosage is called as what dosage? Can anyone tell me? This dosage is called as
super plasticizer.
Dosage. It is called as optimum dosage, or it is called as saturation point. It's called as saturation point. Okay, na? This is the instrument for Marshcone. Okay, what are the factors which will generally affect our workability inside? So what type of plasticizer we are using? Some plasticizer will increase, some may decrease. Dosage, if you increase the dosage, obviously your workability is going to increase up to certain extent, up to optimum dosage. Mixed composition, let us say if aggregate is more coarser, then the super plasticizer effect is different. If aggregate is more finer, then super plasticizer effect is somewhat different. So depending upon the mixed composition also, the workability effect of super plasticizer is changing. Now variability in cement composition, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ, सबको मालूम है सीमेंट में क्या क्या रहता है? C3S, C2S, C3A, C4AF. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತಾರಪ್ಪ ಪ್ರಜ್ವಲ? ಇವಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಂತಾರ ನಾಲ್ಕು ಕಂಪೌಂಡಿಗೆ? ಇದಕ್ಕ bogies compounds. Yes sir, for everyone, can you remember these four compounds?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
These are called as bogies compounds. So if cement contains C3S more, then super plasticizers effect on workability is somewhat change. If C2S content is more, then super plasticizer effect is change. So depending upon the cement composition, depending upon the mix composition, depending upon the mixing procedure, depending upon the equipment. So all the things definitely will affect the workability. Is this point clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Some problems will be there for site users. So there may be slump, you don't have proper slump. Laboratory may not be there. Okay. Problem with crusher sand. So these are some of the problems which you generally use in the site. Okay. See here, can you see the graph? This is admixtures percentage and this is its compressive strength. As the percentage of admixture is increasing, what is happening to the compressive strength?
Decreasing.
Mansi madam, ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ?
Yes, sir.
What is happening as you increase the admixture? What is happening to the compressive strength?
Sir, decreasing.
No. Up to first some point it will increase. Can you
Yes,
see the
sir.
graph? It is going
Yes, sir.
upward. Up to certain dosage, the compressive strength is increasing. But after some time, the compressive strength will decrease. So this dosage is called as, what is that?
Optimum dosage.
Optimum dosage. It is called as optimum dosage. So for 1 day test, 3 day test, for all the test, the as you increase the admixture, as you add admixture, you might see some increase initially, but later on the effect is negative. You have negative effect, so that is it is going to decrease. Now, what is the function of retarder? So that was there for water content. What do you mean by retarder? Retarders are those chemicals which will slow down the chemical reaction of cement and water. Are you understanding? Retarding. Retarding means what? They are slowing down the chemical reaction between cement and water such that the cement particles are surrounded by this retarding chemical. Surrounded particle will be surrounded by this chemical so that water is not acting on the cement molecule, so that cement is not actually reacting with water to give the hydration. Okay na? So for some time this reaction is slowed down or halted, so this process is called as a retarding or retardation. Okay, and the chemicals used are called as a retarder. Okay na? When you want to have this one, when you want to transport the concrete for longer distance, you don't want to react, correct now? When the concrete is done in hot condition, you don't want to fast reaction, you want to slow down reaction. So that is why retarders are used at high temperature, and retarders are used to avoid the joints. Means what? At the end of today's, you are concreting, but when you come to the next day, the concrete is acting as a joint here. So you want to avoid, because you don't want a joint here, so you want to continuously. So at the end of day, you put admixture mixed concrete here so that it is not going to be set. Tomorrow also it will be fresh, so that new concrete and old concrete will act as same. So there is avoiding of cold joint. So in oil wells, you have seen, no, big trenches will be there, pipes will be instructed. So the oil, the gas cannot escape. For that reason, you are adding the grout, cement grout. In the cement grout, you add this retarding admixture so that the chemical reaction will not take place here only. It will take place when it reaches the bottom. So it requires some time to reach the bottom. So till that time, you don't want your reaction to complete. So that retarder will slow down the chemical reaction until the grout reaches the bottom, fills all the casing. After that, the reaction will start. So in grouting oil wells also, this is used. Okay, and when you have a large transportation, that time also you can use. Okay na? So other uses, what are the other uses? When you want to have exposed look, means what? There is a cement wall, retarder is used in concrete, so cement is still fresh. When you apply some water jet, the coating of cement is removed, aggregates can be looked here. So that is called as exposed aggregate look. Exposed aggregate look. Okay na? So this will also prevent the sticking of cement to the sheets or formwork. So that means there is a formwork, there is a steel. Okay na? When you put concrete with this retarder, it is not going to stick to the surface. So when you want to remove these plates, you can easily remove. Okay na? So generally used retarder is what? Calcium sulfate. Generally used is calcium sulfate. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So generally used retarders are calcium sulfate, which is used as gypsum. सबको मालूम है हम लोग जिप्सम क्यों ऐड कर रहा था स्टार्टिंग सीमेंट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में? सबको याद है कि नहीं? ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನೆನಪಿದೆಯಾ?
Yes, sir.
ಹಾ, ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ ಅದನ್ನ? ಜಿಪ್ಸಮ್ ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ?
ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಸೆಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್.
ಟು ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ದ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಸೆಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಲ್ದಿ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನದ? ರಿಟಾರ್ಡೇಷನ್ ಹೋದಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಸಿಯಂ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಿಪ್ಸಮ್. ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಸಿಯಂ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ का मतलब ही जिप्सम है. So it is called as gypsum is added to the retard this setting, retard the setting. Okay na? Some other things are what? Starch can also be used as retarder, cellulose products, sugars, acids. These are some products which can be used as retarders. So you have common sugar, but nowadays it is not used common sugar. What it will do? It will reduce the strength. sugar if you are using in a retarding process, then it will reduce the fatigue. अगर तुम लोग ज्यादा डाल दिया रिटार्डर, क्या हो जाएगा? अगर तुम रिटार्डिंग एडमिक्सचर ज्यादा डाल दिया, क्या ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಹೋगा? ನೀವು ಬಹಳ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರಪ್ಪ, ಮಸ್ಕಿರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ ದಾಂಧಲೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಅರ್ಧ ಬುಚ್ ಹಾಕು ಬದಲಿ ಅರ್ಧ ಬಾಟ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ ಆ ಕಾಂಕ್ರೀಟ್, ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತೆ ಅವಾಗ? ಅದು
Reaction will not take place, sir.
ಹಾ,
It
ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್
will take 5 more than 1 hour.
ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದ್ 15 ದಿನ ಬಿಟ್ರು, ನಿಮ್ದು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಮುಗಿದ್ರು, ನಿಮ್ ಸೆಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಮುಗಿದ್ರು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಕುಂತ್ ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಹಂಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? So that is the problem of adding this one. So generally 0.05 to 0.1 is added. Okay na? So other products which are used, skimmed milk powder. ನೋಡಪ್ಪ, ನಂದಿನಿ ಪಾಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕರೆ ತೊಗೊಂಬಂದು ಹಾಕ್ರಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಸಿಮೆಂಟಿಗೆ. So milk powder can also be used as retarder. Okay na? This is okay. ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ನೋಡಿ, ರಿಟಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಸೈಸರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಿವ? ಎರಡು ಅಡ್ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಚರ್ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ರಿಟಾರ್ಡರ್ ಇರ್ತದ, ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಸೈಸರ್ ಇರ್ತದ. ವೆನ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟು ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ಎನಿ ಒನ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ವಿಚ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೋತ್ ರಿಟಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬೋತ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಸೈಸಿಂಗ್, when they are doing the function, then those are called as what?
Retarding
plasticizer. They can be added separately or they can added at a common time during the batching plan. Okay na? Okay na? Now accelerators, ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತದಪ್ಪ accelerator? ಎಲ್ಲಾರ ಗಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಐತನಪ್ಪ accelerator? सबके गाड़ी में है क्या accelerator?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, क्यों देता है accelerator? जल्दी पहुंचने के लिए, करेक्ट ना, जल्दी फास्ट होने के लिए. So in this cement concrete also, when you want to attain the strength at very very faster rate, or when you want to set the concrete at a very faster rate, that time you accelerate the reaction. So the chemicals are called as accelerators. Why they are used? For early reaction, for fast reaction, fast strength, so that you want to remove the formwork early, so that you want to reduce the curing, so that structure can be placed in service at the early. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 6 महीने के बाद तुम्हारा बिल्डिंग ओपनिंग होता है तो तुम 2 महीने में ही उसको कंप्लीट कर सकते हैं. कैसे? by using the proper accelerator, so work will be completed very fast. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಎಮರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿ ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ. Okay, some of the common accelerators are carbonates, silicates of flosilicates. Okay, calcium chloride was used, but nowadays it is not used. Why it is not used?
Harmful.
Why it is harmful?
Corrosion.
Very good. ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ? ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ಅವರು. ಯಾರು ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಕೊರೋಜನ್ ಆಕೇತಂತ? ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದ? ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಐತಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅದ, ಕೊರೋಜನ್ ಆಕೇತಿ. ಯಾರದು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದ?
ಸರ್ ಅವ ಗೋವಾದವ್ರಿ, ಅವ್ನು ಕನ್ನಡ ಬರಲ್ಲ ರೀ, ಚಂದ್ರಶೇಖರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು.
चंद्रशेखर ಹೇಳಿದ. चंद्रशेखर आप बोला क्या?
हाँ.
करेक्ट है, सही है. ओके. चंद्रशेखर, तुमको कुछ डिफिकल्टी नहीं हो रहा है ना?
नहीं सर.
Both languages I am using, English, Kannada, Hindi. Okay, no problem.
No problem sir.
No problem. Thank you.
हाँ.
और गोवा कैसा है उधर?
अच्छा है सर.
और बीच में जाने के लिए छोड़ रहे क्या सबको?
नहीं लॉकडाउन है.
तुम छुप के जाता है क्या?
नहीं सर, घर में हूँ.
अरे झूठ मत बोलो यार, तुम्हारा व्हाट्सएप स्टेटस देख रहा हूँ रोज.
नहीं सर, घर में हूँ.
पुराने व्हाट्सएप स्टेटस है क्या वो?
हाँ.
पुराने व्हाट्सएप स्टेटस है क्या वो जो तुम डालता है?
हाँ.
Okay. हाँ. So that time you can use calcium chloride is not used because it contains chloride. Chloride is corrosion. It is corrosion inducive property. So that is why you don't add calcium chloride as an accelerator. Okay na? So now application general, wherever we have discussed. Okay na? Whenever you want to do underwater concreting, so underwater concreting will require high rate of reaction or very slow reaction? Chandrasekhar, underwater concreting.
सर.
सपोज तुम केनल में काम कर
जी।
रहे हैं, ओके ना, केनल, सब लोग सुनो, सबके लिए क्वेश्चन है, केनल में कंक्रीटिंग कर रहे हैं, बार बार बारिश आ रहा है, जा रहा है, तो तुमको एक्सेलरेटर यूज करना चाहिए या नहीं करना चाहिए?
करना चाहिए सर।
वेरी गुड. So in
करना
that,
चाहिए सर.
yes, very good, 100%. थैंक यू वेरी मच. मैं क्लास लेने का धन्य हो गया, सब लोग आंसर बोल रहे हैं. ओके ना. So whenever you want to do work fast, such as canal, underwater, waterfront structures, or say waterproofing structures, wherever water is there, no, coastal regions, tidal regions, okay na, so they're all accelerators are generally used, they're all accelerations are generally used. In cold conditions, ये अगर तुम जम्मू कश्मीर में कर रहा है तो क्या करना चाहिए? एक्सेलरेटर डालना चाहिए, करेक्ट ना. इन स्पेशल केसेस सच एज स्प्रेइंग ऑफ कंक्रीट, सच एज शॉर्टक्रीटिंग, कोई देखा है क्या स्प्रेइंग ऑफ कंक्रीट और शॉर्टक्रीटिंग? कभी देखा है क्या? टनल में होता है, नहीं कोई देखा है?
नहीं सर।
नहीं सर.
नहीं.
नहीं.
ओके
नहीं
ओके,
सर.
नो प्रॉब्लम. क्या वो क्या रहता है, एक बड़ा सा गाड़ी रहता है, उस गाड़ी के पीछे पूरा एग्रीगेट सीमेंट फाइबर सभी मिक्स करके ऐसे डाला रहता है. ओके, इसके आगे एक बूम रहता है, बूम बूम. ओके, बूम बूम, ऐसे बूम रहता है, बड़ा सा बूम. इसको ये सभी पूरा प्रेशर से अंदर भेजा जाता है. इसको एक नोजल रहता है, नोजल, पेट्रोल बंक में जैसे नोजल रहता है ना, ऐसा एक नोजल रहता है. इसको क्या करते हैं, ये जो टनल रहता है ना, टनल, ಇದು ಟನಲ್ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಡ್ರಿ, ಟನಲ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಸೈಡ್ ಗಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಹಂಗ ಎಲ್ಲುತ್ತದ. ಇದೇನದ, ಇದು ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಪ್ರೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಸ್ಪ್ರೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಗೌಂಡಿ, ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಮೇಸ್ತ್ರಿ ಹಿಂಗ ಸ್ಟೇರ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟರಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. ऐसे नॉर्मल गाउंडी जाके इसको प्लास्टरिंग नहीं कर सकता है, ठीक है. उसके लिए क्या करते हैं, ऐसा मशीन क्रिएट किया है, मशीन से स्प्रे करते हैं. स्प्रे करने के बाद क्या होता है, एक अच्छा सा कोट बैठता है, ಒಂಥರ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಆಗಿ ಕುಂದಿರ್ತದೆ. ಹಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ ಸಿಮೆಂಟ್ ऐसा करने के लिए, in this case, you want faster reaction or slow reaction? You tell me now.
फास्टर रिएक्शन.
Very good. अगर स्लो रिएक्शन हो गया तो क्या हो सकता है? हाँ,
नहीं बैठता सर.
कोट नहीं बैठता है. क्या होता है, धीरे धीरे बारिश के जैसे नीचे स्टार्ट होता है गिरने के लिए. तो अवॉइड दैट वन, you need to have accelerator which is making fast reaction, okay na. So in that case, some of the compounds, okay, no need to remember. Okay, now what is this accelerating plasticizer? One chemical or two chemical?
2 sir.
Two chemicals. One is accelerating the thing, another is plasticizing the thing. So these two things are mixed separately or what are the common names? Amine chlorides, calcium nitrates, nitrate flow silicates. These are some of the accelerating plasticizer. Okay ना. एयर एंट्रेनिंग एडमिक्सचर, इसका मतलब क्या है? एयर एंट्रेनिंग एडमिक्सचर आपको बोलता हूं, कुछ केमिकल्स है, ओके ना, कुछ केमिकल्स है, कुछ सीमेंट है, ओके ना, और एग्रीगेट्स है और वाटर है, ठीक है. ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर मिक्स्ड. कौन कौन सा मिक्स किया? ये एडमिक्सचर. इस एडमिक्सचर का नाम है एयर एंट्रेनिंग एडमिक्सचर. ಇದು ಎಡ್ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಚರ್ ಹೆಸರೇನ ಏರ್ ಎಂಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಎಡ್ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಚರ್. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಮೆಂಟು, ಇದು ಅಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್, ಇದು ವಾಟರ್. when you add all these things in a proper proportion, small millions of air bubbles will form. Air bubbles will form in a body of concrete. मतलब क्या है, तुम लोग सीमेंट एडमिक्सचर, सैंड, वाटर और एयर एंट्रेनिंग एडमिक्सचर सभी मिक्स करके कंक्रीट किया ना, तो उस कंक्रीट के बॉडी में small millions of minutes of tiny air bubbles will be formed. So this type of concrete or this type of admixtures which will create air bubbles, minute air bubbles, uniformly distributed air bubbles, क्या बोलते हैं, dispersed air bubbles, that admixtures is called as air. That admixture is called as
Air entraining
air entraining admixture. Now you understood. So What is the advantage of air entraining admixture? You tell me. Okay, these are called as non-coalescing air bubbles. मतलब एक दूसरे से वो चिपकता नहीं है. अगर तुम बॉडी में एनलार्ज करके देखे तो एक दूसरे से एयर बबल्स चिपकता नहीं है. वो ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದೂರ 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 ಇರ್ತಾವ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದೂರ 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 ಇರ್ತಾವ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತಾರ? ಏನಂತಾರ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ? What it is called as this type of air bubbles? Non-coalescing air bubbles. Major use of this is to stop the frost action, stop the permeability. I will explain into this one. Frost action ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಇದು ನೋಡಪ್ಪ, ಇದು ಕಾಂಕ್ರೀಟ್. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಇದು ಕಾಂಕ್ರೀಟ್. 3D view. This is aggregate concrete mix. Everything is there. Okay, na? Everything is there. So suppose there is a air which is entrapped. Entrapped is different. Entrained is different. I will explain. Entrained means you have put that air intentionally. तुम लोग जानबूझ के उस एयर को, हवा को अंदर घुसाया है. ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಬೇಕಂತ ಗಾಳಿನ ಹಾಕಿರಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವಿ? ಎಂಟ್ರೇನ್ಡ್ ಏರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವಿ. ओके, नाउ कम्स टू एंट्रैप्ड एयर. एंट्रैप्ड एयर मतलब क्या है? अगर तुम मिक्स करने के टाइम अच्छा सा कॉम्पैक्ट नहीं किया, ऐसे ही डाल के तुम थोड़ा बड़ा करके मिक्स कर दिया, तो ऑब्वियसली एयर वाइड्स विल होगा. तो अननेसेसरी एयर गैप्स विच आर ड्यू टू इम्प्रॉपर कॉम्पैक्शन आर कॉल्ड एज एंट्रैप्ड एयर. मतलब अगर तुम गलती से एयर को अंदर ऐसे फंस गया तो उसको बोलते हैं एंट्रैप्ड एयर. ನೀವು ಬೇಕಂತ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಎಂಟ್ರೇನ್ಡ್ ಏರ್. ಅದು ಬೇಕಂತ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನೋ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಸಿಕ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟದ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು? ಎಂಟ್ರಾಪ್ಡ್ ಏರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕೇಸ್, ಇನ್ ದ ಎಂಟ್ರಾಪ್ಡ್ ಏರ್, ಇಫ್ ಏರ್ ಬಬಲ್ಸ್ or air voids are of bigger size, so that water will be there, water is entrapped there, water is there in that air void. Once the sub-zero temperature 0 degree ಕಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದ? ವಾಟರ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದ? ಇದು water in the voids below 0 degrees temperature, it will become ice. It will become ice. So ice volume is more. Ice volume is more. Okay, Titanic picture da nodri illo, ice irtada, ice big ಏನಂತಾರದ iceberg. Its volume is more, so that it will create a pressure on the body of concrete. So it will create a pressure on the body of concrete. So what is happening there? What is happening? So this increase in pressure will make the concrete crack. Will make the concrete crack. So that air voids is creating the pressure on the body of concrete, so that will create the crack. In second case, in another time, if bigger air voids are present, as in the case of entrapped air, these voids will allow chemicals to enter and harm the concrete and steel. So this is called as a permeability. When something external solution, chemical, water, rain, if it is entering inside the body, due to the bigger air voids which are present and making harm to the concrete or steel, so that is called as a permeability. Now in the air entrained mixture, air voids are there, but they are very, very small, tiny, uniformly dispersed. These things will not make ice crystals. Instead of that, they act as a pressure reliever for ice. Also, they act as a pressure relieving particles when during the ice is formation, when there is ice formation. Suppose there is a big void next to these small air bubbles. What is happening? When ice is becoming, it is creating pressure, but these small air bubbles are surrounding. No, this will absorb that pressure. So that is why it is making resistance to frost action. In second case, how it is reducing permeability? Small air bubbles will act as a barrier. विचित्र था, एक अजीब है ना, बड़ा गैप्स है तो परमिएबिलिटी ज्यादा होता है, मगर छोटे 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 एयर बबल्स है तो परमिएबिलिटी विल बी जीरो और इट विल reduce the permeability. ದೊಡ್ಡ ಏರ್ ವೈಡ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರ ಪರ್ಮಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ, ಬಟ್ ಅದ ಸಣ್ಣ 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 ಏರ್ ಬಬಲ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರ ಪರ್ಮಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್. ಪರ್ಮಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್. सण सण एयर बबल्स साइज ಎಷ್ಟು 5 माइक्रोन. बिगर एयर बबल्स का साइज कितना होता है 100 माइक्रोन से ज्यादा होता है. बिगर एयर बबल्स और एयर वाइड्स. सो बिगर थिंग्स आर ड्यू टू entrapment, smaller things are due to air entrainment, which is due to our admixture, which is due to our admixture. Is that okay for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Very important concept, huh? Very
Sir.
important concept. Okay na? ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆತನಪ್ಪ ಇದು? ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ?
Yes, sir.
ಎಲ್ಲರೂ?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How that air entraining admixture is there? ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ರೇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಕೊಡ್ರಪ್ಪ, ರೇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಮ್ಮೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಅದಿರಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. Raise hand, all the persons. Okay, very good, very good, very good, very good. Okay, na? This is about air entraining. So normally air entraining admixtures, wood resins, animal, various, these are the things generally we use as a air entraining admixture. These are some of the chemical names. These are some of the chemicals which we use air entraining admixtures. Okay, na? Okay. So wherever wherever air entraining admixtures are using, some of the factors will affect. What are the factors? Type and quantity of that admixture. Initial water cement ratio. So more water cement ratio, more bubbles. Correct or not? If water is content is more, then there will be more water cement ratio. Grading of aggregate. Grading of aggregate. Now you tell me, if sand is there and if coarse aggregate is there, in which case bubbles formation is more, in sand or in coarse aggregate?
Force aggregate.
No. In sand only the bubbles formation will be more. That is what it is there. Okay, it will give more surface area than this coarse aggregate. As the fineness increase, more surface area is available. Do you agree with this point or not? Everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As the fineness increases, more surface area, so more bubbles will form. Okay, so also depending upon the mixing time, also temperature, type of cement, compaction, and other admixtures. So these are some of the factors which will affect the air bubble formation due to air entraining concrete. Air entraining concrete. Okay, na? Okay. Now can you see here? Effect of water cement ratio. Effect of water cement ratio. Just now we have completed, no? As the water cement ratio increases, bubbles will also more form. Bubbles formation is also more, but up to certain extent. When you see it in a graph, this is admixture, air entraining admixture. This is bubble formation. Graph will be like this, correct? Yes or no? As the admixture is increasing, air bubbles are also increasing, but up to certain extent. This certain extent is called as optimum dosage and optimum water cement ratio. And optimum water cement ratio is 0.4 to 0.6. As the water cement ratio increases, as the admixture increases, the air bubbles are also increasing, but up to certain limit. So that optimum dosage is, water cement ratio is 0.4 to 0.6. Okay, na? Can you see here? For sand friction, for sand fraction, 300 to 150 means what? If sand content is more, higher is the air bubbles. Effect of admixture is more. Okay, na? So like that. Apart from that, what are the effect? It will give resistance to freezing and thawing. What we have seen, no? It will absorb the pressure exerted by ice crystal. It will improve the workability. How? So there is small air bubbles. These things will act as what? Ball bearings. For what? Aggregates to roll down. aggregates to roll down one above the other, so that these things will increase the workability by performing the action of ball bearing. Okay, na? Reduction in strength. This is a disadvantage. Huh? These two are advantages. This is a disadvantage. Okay, na? How the strength is reduced? More air bubbles. If that is more and more air bubbles are there, what will happen to its density? Whether it will increase or decrease? Can anyone tell me?
Increase.
Baba, if more air bubbles are present, what will happen to its density?
Decrease,
Decrease.
sir.
Very good.
Decrease.
डेंसिटी कम होता है, डेंसिटी कम होता है क्योंकि एयर बबल्स ज्यादा होने से, एयर बबल्स भार इरोद्रिंद weight will reduce. Weight is reduced. If weight is reduced, obviously density is reduced. If density is reduced, what will happen to strength? What will happen to strength?
Reduce.
Oh, very good. Yes,
Reduce, sir.
ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೀವು ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಬರ್ರಿಪ್ಪ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸಲ ನಾ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಚಾ ಕುಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ. सब लोग कॉलेज आने के बाद मैं सबको एक बार चाय पिलाता हूँ. ओके, थैंक यू. कितना अच्छा रिप्लाई दे रहे हैं, मुझे तो बहुत खुश हो रहा है. ओके ओके. So major 2 advantage, major 1 disadvantage. Apart from that, so many advantages are there. Okay na? So many advantages. Reduce the segregation, reduce the bleeding, decrease the permeability, chemical attack is reduced, sand content can be reduced because some air bubbles is replacing sand. These small air bubbles will also act as a sand only, will also act as a fine aggregate only. That is what it is, replacing some sand. Okay now? Improved condition of placing, improved condition and improving finishing. Okay now? Reduces cement content because when you are adding air entering admixture, air bubbles are forming. So air bubbles will consume some space, will consume some volume. No? So that volume consumed indirectly will decrease the cement consumption, indirectly will decrease the sand consumption. Major disadvantage is reduce the self weight, but it is also an advantage when you want to have a partition wall, when you want to have a roof. Okay, so and it will also reduce the water content, and it will also control the alkali aggregate reaction, and it will also change the modulus of elasticity. Whether these disadvantages are clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this ball bearing
Yes, sir.
action to increase the workability. Absorption of pressure from ice crystal to control the freezing and thawing. Okay na? Major advantages and disadvantages. That is the explanation what we have just explained. No? In this graph, what you can see, freezing and thawing resistance. Okay na? See here, this is plain concrete graph, this is air entrained concrete graph. Okay na? Loss in weight, in which case it is more? This is loss in weight. Okay na? This is freezing and thawing, this is plain concrete, this is air entrained concrete. In which graph the loss is more? Here it is.
Plain concrete, sir.
No. In plain concrete,
Upper one.
weight of the total concrete loss is more. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 100 ग्राम कंक्रीट मारिद्री, अगर तुम लोग 100 ग्राम कंक्रीट किया, 1-2 साल के बाद, मतलब 2 साल में बहुत सारा फ्रीजिंग एंड थॉइंग होगा. फ्रीजिंग एंड थॉइंग मतलब क्या है? सब जीरो टेम्परेचर, इंक्रीजिंग टेम्परेचर, सब जीरो टेम्परेचर, इंक्रीजिंग टेम्परेचर. आइस फॉर्म होगा, बर्स्ट होगा और पानी आएगा. आइस फॉर्म होगा, बर्स्ट होगा, पानी आएगा. इसको बोलते हैं फ्रीजिंग एंड थॉइंग. ओके ना? ಬರ್ಫ್ ಆಗ್ತದ, ಐಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದ, ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಆಗ್ತದ, ಒಡಿತದ, ಮತ್ ನೀರ್ ಬರ್ತದ, ಮತ್ ಹಿಂಗ ಆಗ್ತದ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಫ್ರೀಜಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಥಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಹಿಂಗ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ದು ಕಾಂಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಹಾಳಾಗ್ತದ. ऐसे करने से तुम्हारा कंक्रीट खराब हो जाएगा. तो खराब होने से सो वेट इज गोइंग टू रिड्यूस. अगर वो 100 ग्राम का कंक्रीट है, वो 100 ग्राम का कैनल है, कैनल के ऊपर तुम कंटिन्यूअसली फ्रीजिंग हो रहा है, थॉइंग हो रहा है, तो कैनल का ऊपर का कोटिंग नीचे नीचे जाएगा ना. ಕೆನಲದ ಲೈನಿಂಗ್ ಹಾಳಾಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಆ ಹಾಳಾಗೋದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಾಳಾಗ್ತದೆ, 100 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇದ್ರೆ 30 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಹೋಗಿ 70 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಉಳಿತದೆ. 70 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಉಳಿತದೆ. ಎದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಉಳಿತದ, ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಕಾಂಕ್ರೀಟ್ನಾಗ. ಅದ ಟೈಮ್ ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ದು ಏರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ತದಪ್ಪ, ಬರೀ 5 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಹಾಳಾಗ್ತದೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗ 95 ಸಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಉಳಿತದ, 95 ಕಾಂಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಉಳಿತದ. ವೆದರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್?
Yes, sir.
For everyone, I am asking. Baba, for everyone. You have to tell me.
Yes, sir.
For everyone. In air and training concrete, loss is less. In plain concrete, loss is more when there is a freezing and thawing. When there is a freezing and thawing. Okay na? Here, this is the graph for compacting factor. मतलब किसमें ज्यादा compaction कर सकता है? Any graph, you take this graph. As the air entraining percentage is increasing, what is happening to the compaction factor? What is happening to the compaction factor?
Increasing, sir.
हाँ, it is increasing. मतलब क्या है, अगर तुम air entraining admixture ऐड कर रहा है तो तुम ज्यादा कॉम्पैक्ट कर सकता है. ನೀವು ಏರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಚಲೋ ಕಾಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಅದು ಮೀನಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಬೆಟರ್ ವೇ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಅಬೌಟ್. There are 2, 3, 4 graphs. These are nothing but this is for 0.55 ratio, 0.7 to water cement, 0.6 to water cement, 0.45 water. For different water cement ratio, you have different compaction factor. Okay na? Huh. Now, can you tell me, this is the strength, this is the air entraining admixture. As the air entraining admixture percentage is increasing in concrete, what is happening to the strength? What is happening to the strength?
Decreasing.
Decreasing, sir.
Increasing.
सबको मालूम हो रहा है ना ग्राफ देखने से, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ. ಹೆಂಗ ನೀವು ಹೆಂಗ एडमिक्सचर ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಿ, कैसे कैसे तुम लोग एडमिक्सचर ज्यादा ऐड कर रहा है, थोड़ा थोड़ा कंक्रीट का स्ट्रेंथ भी गिर रहा है. For this type of mix, for all mix, the graph is going down. So that is the advantage. This is also another graph for decrease in strength when you increase the air content. So it is also stopping what, bleeding and lashes. मतलब क्या है, वो जो bleeding का मतलब क्या है, कंक्रीट है, अग्रीगेट्स है, पानी है. ओके, अग्रीगेट सीमेंट पानी स्लोली ऊपर आ रहा है और स्लोली ऊपर आके जमा हो रहा है. ಸ್ಲೋಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಕಾಂಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಒಳಗಿಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದು ಇದಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as what? Is called as bleeding. Another case, what is lashes? While coming to the top, it will carry small cement, and when you see at the top, neat cement paste, only cement and water will be there. This cream is called as lashes. The cream of water and cement which is coming at the top is called as lashes. Coming of water to the top is called as bleeding. So when you add air entraining admixture, small air bubbles will stop this water flow. So it is controlling bleeding, it is controlling lashes. It is controlling bleeding and it is controlling lashes. Okay na? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Segregation means what? Heavier aggregates are sinking, lighter water is going to the top. आप अगर कांक्रीट को देखता है तो अग्रीगेट भी रहेगा, पानी भी रहेगा, ಸಿಮೆಂಟ್ भी रहेगा, ಮೂರು ಇರ್ತಾವಪ್ಪ, ಸಿಮೆಂಟ್, ಅಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್, ವಾಟರ್. ಈಗ ಹೆವಿ ಯಾವ್ದದ ಮೂರದ್ರೊಳಗು, कौन सा चीज हेवी है? Aggregate is heavier. So aggregate is heavy. Under the action of gravity, slowly it will sink, slowly it is going down, and slowly water is going to the top. Why? Water's density is less than aggregate, so aggregate is going down, water is going down. So this separation is called as segregation. This separation of different material is called as segregation. But when you have small air bubbles, when you have this small air bubbles, what is happening here? Air bubbles will stop the aggregates to sinking. Why? Air bubbles will formed beneath the aggregates will give buoyancy. Will give buoyancy. ನೀವು ಸ್ವಿಮ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಪೂಲ್ದಾಗ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಜಿಗದ್ರೆ ಮುಳುಗ್ತಿರ ತೇಲ್ತಿರಪ್ಪ?
ತೇಲ್ತೀವ್ರಿ.
ಹೇಳ್ತೀವ್ರಿ ಸರ್.
ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಿರ್ತೈತಪ್ಪ?
एयर
ಏರ್
हाँ एयर रहता है। और ट्यूब में क्या रहता है? ट्यूब में क्या रहता है? स्विमिंग पूल के ट्यूब में तैरने के लिए
एयर
एयर नहीं, हवा रहता है यार।
सर ಎರಡು ಒಂದರ
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏರ್ ಅನ್ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ. ವಾಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಏರ್. ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ में क्या रहता है ಅಂದ್ರ ಹವಾ.
हवा
ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನ್ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ ಅಂದ್ರ
ಗಾಳಿ
ಗಾಳಿ.
ಗಾಳಿ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಗಾಳಿ.
ಹಿಂಗ ओके ना? तो ये एयर बबल्स क्या करेगा? इसको फ्लोट करेगा. सो इन दिस वे इट इज स्टॉपिंग द सेग्रीगेशन. इन दिस वे इट इज स्टॉपिंग द सेग्रीगेशन. ओके फॉर एवरीवन. permeability ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೇನಲ್ಲ, permeability. small air bubbles will act as a barrier. Big air bubbles which are act as a permeable material. Small air bubbles which will reduce the permeability. Okay. Chemical resistance ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ? ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗಾಗ್ತದೆ? ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಏರ್ ಬಬಲ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯಾರಿಯರ್ ಗತೆ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. स्मॉल एयर बबल्स वो एक बैरियर जैसे, एक दीवार जैसे फॉर्म होगा. एक दीवार जैसे एक्ट करने से बाहर के शत्रु कोई भी अंदर नहीं आ सकता है. बाहर के शत्रु कौन कौन है? केमिकल से, एसिड से, रेन है, डस्ट है, क्लोरीन है और क्या क्या है. ओके वो सब कुछ उसको रोकेगा. इसके लिए इसको रेजिस्टिंग द केमिकल अटैक. तो इसीलिए समुद्र के किनारे, कैनल के किनारे, हमारे देश में होता है नहीं होता है मालूम नहीं, मगर जापान, कोरियन कंट्रीज और यूरोपियन कंट्रीज, अमेरिकन साइड, वो सभी क्या करते हैं? दे जनरली यूज एयर एंट्रेनिंग एडमिक्सचर विच इज वेरी गुड इन गिविंग द केमिकल रेजिस्टेंस. Is that okay? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Also
Yes,
it will reduce the sand content, water content, cement content. कैसे? अगर कुछ चीजें इसमें रिप्लेस हो रहे, कौन से चीजें रिप्लेस हो रहे हैं? सैंड, वाटर, सीमेंट. रिप्लेस्ड विथ व्हाट? किससे रिप्लेस हो रहा है? ಎದರಲಿಂದ रिप्लेस ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದು? कोई है? हेलो.
Yes, sir.
किससे रिप्लेस हो रहा है वो? एयर एंड ट्रेनिंग एडमिक्सचर में सैंड, वाटर, सीमेंट थोड़ा कम यूज होगा. ಏರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟ್ರೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಚರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ವಾಟರ್, ಸಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಎದರ್ಲಿಂದ ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? ಏರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಗಾಳಿಯಿಂದ. गाड़िंदा हवा से. जो तुम एंट्रेंड एयर किया ना, एंट्रेंड हवा जो है वो क्वांटिटी से सैंड, वाटर, सीमेंट रिप्लेस हो रहा है. ओके एवरीवन?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it is also controlling alkali aggregate reaction, and it is also having modulus of elasticity. It is the modulus of elasticity. What is this abrasion resistance? ಏನಿದು abrasion resistance ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? इसका मतलब क्या है? कोई तो बोलो. abrasion resistance क्या होता है?
Resistance against rubbing.
Very good. When you have a big road surface, continuously vehicle tires are moving down. No? Continuously vehicle are moving like this. So this tire surface will create abrasive, so that the top layer is slowly जा रहा है. तो एयर एंट्रेनिंग कंक्रीट डालने से तुम्हारा एब्रेशन पावर जो है वो कम हो रहा है, ज्यादा हो रहा है? तुम लोग ये बताना है.
ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಶ್ರುತಿ ನಾಯಕ್ ವೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಯು? श्रुति नायक वेर आर यू? नहीं है. ओके. नक्षत्रा मैडम?
Yes, sir.
रोड में जो तुम कंक्रीट कर रहे है वो टायर के हिसाब से अब्रेशन जाके जा रहे कंक्रीट खराब हो रहा है। एयर एंट्रेनिंग एडमिक्सचर यूज करने से आपका मतलब वो रोड में उसका रोड का अब्रेसिव स्ट्रेंथ और अब्रेसिव रेजिस्टेंस कम हो रहा है या ज्यादा हो रहा है?
कम हो रहा है।
कैसे? ಮಂಜು ಗುಡ್ಡನವರ ನಾನು ಹಿಂಗ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತೇನೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೀ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಓಡೋಗ್ಬಣ್ಣಿ
ಸರ್
ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಓಡಿ ಹೊಂಟಿನಿ ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೊಂಟಾನು
ಎಲ್ ಸರ್
नक्षत्रा मैडम why it is making that abrasion resist उसमें कुछ तो है ना जिसके लिए उसका अब्रेसिव स्ट्रेंथ कम हो रहा है। क्या हो गया नक्षत्र मैडम साइलेंट हो गया? You don't know or you know the answer?
Don't know, sir.
Don't know. बाबा एयर एंट्रेनिंग एडमिक्सचर में क्या फॉर्म हो रहा है?
Air bubbles.
एयर बबल्स अगर ज्यादा है तो रोड के सरफेस में तो उसका कंक्रीट का स्ट्रेंथ अच्छा होगा या बुरा होगा? फिर साइलेंट हो गया, अजीब बात है। हेलो नक्षत्र मैडम।
Sir, yes, sir.
अरे आंसर बोलो ना, क्यों चुप हो रहा है? बोल बिडम्मा, यू आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन स्टडीइंग एंड यू आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन क्लास, ऐसा है क्या?
No, sir.
फिर बताओ ना, आंसर बताओ। ठीक है, ओके ओके, आई विल एक्सप्लेन। काजल पवार ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಓಕೆ. ಕೆಂಪಣ್ಣ ಸರ್ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಾ?
ಹಲೋ ಸರ್,
ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಏನಿಲ್ಲೋ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಅದ. ಏರ್ ಬಬಲ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ
ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಏರ್ ಬಬಲ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್.
ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಕೈತಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಬ್ರೇಷನ್ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಕೈತಿ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಅದಪ್ಪ, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ಶಾಣೆ ಅದ ನೋಡವ ಕೆಂಪಣ್ಣ. ಅದಲ್ಪ ಕೆಂಪಣ್ಣ ಹೋದೆಲ್ಲೋ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ನೀ ಹೇಳಿದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರೋಬ್ಬರಿ ಅದ ಕೆಂಪಣ್ಣ.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್, ಎಸ್.
ನೀನೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾರು ಬೇರೆದವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು?
ನಾನೇನು ಸರ್.
ಹೋಲ್ ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ. ಸೊ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. as the air bubbles are more, its strength is reduced. That is why abrasion resistance is also reduced. Okay, so that is what. Optimum air content. What is the dosage? Optimum air content. Nakshatra ma'am.
0.4 to
Nakshatra madam.
0.6.
No. Optimum air content. Optimum
3 to 6.
3 to 6%. 3 to 6%. Okay na, optimum air. ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಹೇಳಿ? 6% किंत जास्ती एयर कंटेंट इत्तप्पा, अगर तुम्हारे कंक्रीट में 6% से भी ज्यादा एयर बबल्स है तो क्या हो रहा है उधर? परमिएबिलिटी ज्यादा होता है या स्ट्रेंथ डिक्रीज हो रहा है? हाँ, इट इज बिकम
Strength decrease होता है.
मोर लाइट इन वेट. ಜಾಣ ಶಾಣೆ ಇದ್ರಪ್ಪ, ಶಾಣೆ ಇದ್ರಿ. ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ क्या हो रहा है, जैसे जैसे एयर बबल्स 6% से ज्यादा होगा, the concrete will become more light in weight. So more light in weight obviously decreases the strength. Okay na? Okay, so tomorrow we will continue this class.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now shall we stop or continue?
ಬಸ್ ಸರ್,
Stop, sir.
ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. सब लोग बोलने से स्टॉप
Start, sir.
ಎಲ್ಲರೂ
Stop, sir.
ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಸರ್, ಸ್ಟಾಪ್.
ಓಕೆ.
Sir, will continue tomorrow.
tomorrow. ಓಕೆ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಟೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇತ್ತ? ಮಜಾ ಬಂತ? ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆದ್ರೂ?
Yes, sir.
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
Yes, sir.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ರೇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಪ್ಪ. ರೇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ. ओके ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನಿಮ್ದು अटेंडेंस बरीರಿ सब लोग आपका अटेंडेंस दे दो चैट बॉक्स में ना क्यों मैं पूछने से पहले 4-5 लोग दे दिया निखिल बसवराज मंजुनाथ के वो लोग आके चले गए लगता है 4:40 को गेस्ट अपीयरेंस अटेंडेंस बाय राइटिंग योर नेम एंड यूएसएन ओके हाँ ಏನಾದರೂ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಓಕೆ ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ okay everyone has given attendance any doubts
No, sir.
No, sir.
no sir
No,
no
sir.
sir yeah सबको अंडरस्टैंड हुआ है आज का क्लास सबको अंडरस्टैंड हुआ है तो सब लोग यस यस बोलने का
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
yes sir okay shall
Yes,
we
sir.
Yes, sir.
okay okay thank you very much you can leave the class have a nice time be careful
Thank you, sir.
take care of your health
Thank you, sir.
take care of your
Okay,
health
sir.
very
Thank you, sir.
important take care bye bye thank you
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir.
yes
Bye, sir.
welcome bye